I think even before you finish high school, you're struggling with what you're going to do with your life, what gives you purpose, what gives you meaning, what you want to do for a job, and whether or not that job's going to fill that need to feel useful. And it's something that I've talked about a couple of times, but a really interesting story that I had in a conversation with a friend about, I want to say, a month ago, was just about that very subject in regards to how a video game, of all things, helped her figure out what she wanted to do with her life. I want to preface this by saying that, you know what, it's very likely, I don't want to say very likely, that sounds a little negative. It's very possible, better wording, that in, 7 years' time, the job that she is on the path towards may not be the one that she ends up with. But for the purpose of this story, I find it very interesting that one moment in a video game charted the trajectory for her life up to this point. And the game in question was Mario Sunshine. It was a very interesting... I'm still running over the discussion in my head, and it blows my mind that... Anyways, I'm rambling here, so let's get to the point. So she was playing Mario Sunshine, and there's a part in the game, and I'll admit, I've only played, I want to say maybe a quarter. I don't think I even got through half of that game. It was a friend's GameCube, so I didn't have it for very long anyway. Back in the time when you would trade games back and forth and it wasn't all digital content. Heck, you'd loan out a console to a buddy for like a month or so. Anyway, so there's a part in the game where you go to, I think the bottom of the ocean, there's this like sea monster, this big eel or something like that, and it's pissed off. And you got to go inside its mouth and wash out its teeth because you find out, he's not evil, he's just pissed off because he has a toothache. There's cavities and things like that. And after that, he turns out to be like, just a happy little monster. But regardless of that fact, that moment made her realize that what she wanted to do and what she enjoyed and what made her feel good was cleaning teeth, which ended up charting this path towards being a dental hygienist. And I find that really amazing that you that you could play a game like Mario Sunshine, do this one aspect of the game, which is fun, but I mean, when you think about it, like kind of mindless. You're just like going through another stage to get to the next level, like any game. And that moment, there was the right combination of things to suddenly set off a couple of gears in her mind to say, you know what? I really enjoy doing that. Albeit not with a pressurized water jet strapped to your back, but just cleaning teeth and seeing how happy that made someone, or in this case something, was enough to make her go, okay, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. And personally, I've never had that moment in a game before, which is why it was so mind-blowing to me that you could have that kind of realization. Not because I think it's like, wow, that's like the one in a million thing. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of people. But just that I've never had that moment. I've had plenty of others. I've had games that have made me laugh till it hurts, games that have made me cry, games that have pissed me off. Who hasn't had a game that's pissed them off? Every game pisses people off at some point. I've had games that I can play a million times and games that I'll never touch again. Games that have made me think about the world, think about life, think about the universe. I'm looking at you, No Man's Sky. But I've never had one that has made me stop and go, you know what? This part of the game has made me realize this is what I like to do. This is what I need to do. This is what I am going to aim my life towards. If that were the case, I would be waiting for a nuclear apocalypse and hiding underground until I could emerge and go, all right, let's explore the wasteland. I like Fallout. But regardless, it's such an interesting thing. And I mean, the same could be said of a lot of different mediums. When you think about it, you could watch a movie and that could be enough to help you figure out what you want to do, or at least inspire you to give it your all to see if that's what you want to do with your life. Another friend of mine, I remember saying that he watched, I think it was Miami Vice when he was a kid. And that show inspired him to become an actor. And he's still working at it. He may not be Brad Pitt, but I mean, power to him. He's grinding at it. He's still trying. And I guess it's the dedication and the passion that I find really interesting, where in both those things, it's something where it's not even like, this is something I'd like to do. These are both people who have had these moments in their life which have made them turn and say, this is something I need to do. I know I need to do. And again, like I say, interests change, occupations change. Where you end up may not be identical to what you were aiming for. But there are these moments in life that can inspire you or help clarify what you want. I find those very interesting because I can say personally that I'm not in that place yet. I mean, I'm working 2 different jobs, one of which pays the bills, one of which I think is something that I would like to dedicate my life towards. But I haven't had that moment of certainty where I'm just like, yep, no doubt in my mind, this is it. No question. I'm zeroed in on it, locked in. There's nothing else for me. Haven't had that yet. And I love movies and I love games, but neither one has served to offer up that epiphany, that moment, that aha moment. That was it. Not yet. And maybe that moment won't come from either one of those mediums. But regardless, I wanted to share this story because of all the places to find a path towards what gives you meaning in life, Mario Sunshine. I still find that so unbelievable. But if you've got anything similar, whether it's video games or otherwise, but if there's a video game that's done it, I'd love to hear which one, because if Mario Sunshine can offer up that kind of life-defining moment, I don't know. Pac-Man could probably do the same thing. Any game could do the same thing. Who knows? Maybe it's less about the game. It's more about the moment in the game and how you are in that moment of the game. This is getting deep. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to share it around. And until next time, I'm Rye. Take care of yourselves.